So this is the video showing the CrazyFlie controller, the Arduino code for the EEK that will then talk to the Python piece of the bridge to fly the CrazyFlie. Together they allow the EEK to be in control of a CrazyFlie in flight. So this is quite similar to the MPU gesture-based TeleFlyer controller, but just with some small tweaks that were made. So again, I don't want to spend too much time on this since the code is covered in the EEK book. But here we go. This is the configuration at the top for defines for your pins, your switch pins and GPIO pins, LED pins. You've got to put in your network credentials here. There is no use of ESP32 preferences to save and retain credentials. You kind of embed them into the code. And once again, you're not talking to a telo, you're talking to your host, which is on your local Wi-Fi network, and it's been given an address. And you need to learn that address and use that as UDP address. And then one difference from the other examples that use the MPU is that we were using button 2 buttons. And now I'm back to using easy button buttons. There was a while there when easy button, the library was kind of broken. As Arduino made some changes, but it seems to be back now and being usable again. But basically, a lot of the methodology for declaring buttons and using buttons is the same between the two libraries. So we have our roll, pitch, and yaw definitions that we use for making the CrazyFlie fly. We have, again, velocity commands for CrazyFlie, so those end with _V, and so the hover command is basically stop _V. And then I have a slightly different calculation for how to convert MPU gestures into changes to make to the flight. So there are a few differences if you compare it to the MPU telo controller. The Wi-Fi event handling is basically the same. The connection method to connect to Wi-Fi is basically the same. The run command, I believe this is back to being a void method. It had been converted to be a Boolean returning method in the drone block simulator code, but otherwise it looks pretty much the same as it did then. And then we're getting different data in when a battery command is executed, battery status command is executed. So we're now using numbers, numbers going from 0, 1 up to 3. And then I light the battery lights on the EEK LEDs basically based on those battery levels. And there's code for battery handling inside of Python to kind of convey battery levels out to the EEK. There are some flight plan functions, not as many as we had in the gamepad examples, but then this one is run flight plan or run flight plan 2. There's kill button handling, there's takeoff button handling, and then these are methods that are tied to the button handlers. We have pin modes for the EEK switches, and we have pin modes for the EEK LEDs. We set those all to be off. We handle the 2 buttons as easy buttons, as I said. And then we basically bring up the library, the easy library, light library, in order to make sure that it's being able to sense rotations and movements on the EEK itself. This is the main loop. And it has the command ability at the front here to do things for the serial monitor. And we have states for the 4 buttons, the non-takeoff button, the non-kill button. And then these are what we check to see if our buttons are high. Buttons high mean they're being pressed. Buttons are low means that they're not being pressed. And if they're pressed, and as long as they're pressed, we're going to generate these up V, down V, CWV, CCWV commands. And I'm not being very aggressive there in terms of speed. So 20 centimeters up and down speed, and then 45 degrees motion for the clockwise, counterclockwise yaws. And then this is the code very similar to the MPU code that we've used in the past to do the gesture sensing. And then the command that I generate as a go command, it's a go underscore V, which is what motion commander interface in CrazyFlie expects. And then we're only doing horizontals. We're not trying to do anything with vertical movement. So it's just straight and side. So straight means forward, back, and side means left and right. And then that's it. I mean, the thing that we have the ability to use the down button if we're not flying. The down button when pressed, and you press and release it in this case, you run flight plan 2. And then I believe also in the kill handler, the emergency handler, then if you're not in flight, then you can run a flight plan. So you run the flight plan whose name is run flight plan. So that's something that you can actually call from the kill button on the EEK. And I think that basically summarizes what I wanted to say. So I'll stop here.